Good morning, everybody. Lori Morgan, again with New Life Calvary Chapel. A little late this morning, so apologize for that. So again, I feel like I say this every time. Wasn't sure what I was going to talk about today, and so I was talking to a friend on the phone and telling her about it. And between her and I, we figured out, hey, I should talk about this. And before I go into that, it also got me thinking, this is what God wants, right? Like God wants us to not, he wants us to have a relationship with him, but also to share that relationship with other people, right? Whether it's in the butter aisle, as Pastor Eric always talks about, or it's life groups, or it's our Bible study. God wants us to have those conversations with people and talk about God and go over his word. Sometimes we may not understand what the Bible's trying to say, God's trying to say through the Bible. And so having those relationships with other people can really help that, whether you're a new Christian or an old Christian. I know from experience, as a new Christian, I would have, life groups with even my pastor, and I would question something and he'd be like, oh, I never thought about it that way. So it doesn't matter if you're new or a seasoned Christian, finding those people that you can have those communications with is extremely important. What we did talk about was waking up every day and striving to be like Jesus, right? God wants us to be like Jesus. And that can be very, at least for me, very stressful, to the fact of I'm literally setting myself up for failure because I am not perfect. I am a flawed human and I am going to sin every single day. I don't want to. I try not to, but I'm a flawed human. So it can be very difficult to wake up and pray and say, God, please help me today to be more like Jesus, to guide me in your ways, and knowing that we're going to fail. But I want us to think about and to remember that to give ourselves grace. And, God gives us mercy. He knows our heart. And so remember that you're not waking up in asking for something, that you're going to fail at. That's not why you do it. You do it to help, to have God help you and to remind yourself, right? The more we talk about God and the more we bring him into our life, the better we can be at striving to be more like Jesus. So those are the two things for today. Again, apologize it's so late, but thinking about, wake up every morning and ask God to help you be more like Jesus, and understanding that you have grace and you have mercy, and give that to yourself because God gives it to you. And also find that person or those people that you can go to that will help you pull you closer to God. If you do need help with that, we have life groups. We have a Bible study actually tonight, every Thursday at 6:45. We're going, we're going through Exodus still. So there's that. There's different life groups. My husband and I do a life group, just him and I, every morning, right? Like we do our fellowship, we do our Bible study, and it's just him and I. And I can tell you that it really pulls us closer to God. So reach out if you need some, to want to be in a life group or anything. But remember, give yourself grace. God gives you mercy. He loves you. And I just pray that you guys all have a great week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.